Okay, this is like the 50th time I've tried to record this, and I have been too in my head. I've been too obsessed with following the script. Let me just tell you what happens. I have a light there. I have a big light there. They're fucking huge. I'm stood in front of. This looks like bricks. Yeah, there's spray paint and blah, but it's a fucking green screen. Yeah, it's a bed sheet. I'm probably sure I've just taken down the picture and you can now see the bed sheet. It's crazy. And there's a laptop down there with some bullet points on, and I think about it too much. I worry about it too much. This is tiring. So why am I recording this? Well, I was going to do some clever stuff. I was going to do some stuff about definitions. I was going to explain left wing, right wing. I was going to explain the regressive left concept. Cannot be fucking bothered with that today. I've just watched Prime Minister's Questions, David Cameron's last one. He now on his last day at work, and I left a job recently, 6 months ago. On my last day, I was the only member of management in. It was the day before New Year's, and I said bye to the guys and I left. That was it. In fairness, I popped back a couple of times and I said hi to people and bits and pieces, but pretty much I just left. But you know that day you get, you must have done it. If you've left a job that you've been at for a while, where you go around and you go, hi, yeah, it's been great, yeah, no, not sure what I'm going to do. I'm just going to go and, going to see how things play out and stuff like that. Oh, it's a shame. Anyway, he gets to go and see the fucking Queen. How cool is that? But anyway, so Dave's off to see the Queen. Shortly after that, Theresa May is going to go and see the Queen. Cool first day at work. Mine was not that cool, I'm telling you. I joined the prison service in 2002 and I did not meet the fucking Queen. I worked there for 13 and a half years. I've worked for that woman. Never met her once. Bitch. Anyway, so Theresa's going to be the new PM. Right. Home Office to PM. Gotta be honest, a little bit fucking worried about that. Going from someone who was formerly in charge of the Secret Service to being in charge of the country is a bit like this guy. Hopefully a picture's just popped up on either of my shoulders. I don't know which one because I haven't done it yet. But hopefully there's a picture of Vladimir Putin. If it isn't a picture of Vladimir Putin, then it was supposed to be a picture of Vladimir Putin. Just imagine it was, okay? We'll go with it. Or hopefully it's changed now to a picture of Vladimir Putin because I understand that that's what I was supposed to do. And if you're watching this, Stu, on the edit, you're a fucking moron. Vladimir Putin. Russian. Yeah. Right, so head of KGB, now running Russia. And we see what kind of fucking mess that's got us into. So I'm slightly concerned that Theresa May is going to use a book that I've read a couple of times and I'm a big fan of, and she's going to use that as some kind of documentation, some kind of plan as to how to run a country. Let me just show you which book I mean. Okay, so this is Finding Jesus. This isn't the right book. I mean, it's fun, but wrong fucking book. Let's let it focus. There we go. You can do it. Okay, this is George Orwell's 1984. Okay, I've read this book a couple of times. Cracking bit of kit. If you haven't read it, you really need to. 300 and I don't even put a fucking number on the last page. How pathetic is that? 326 pages of story where we come up with things like newspeak and doublethink and all these kind of weird and crazy things. And the concept is, in many parts of it, to remove certain words from our vernacular. And if we remove those words, then people can't think bad things. And we'll survey them at all times. We will always keep an eye on them. Big brother is watching you. Yeah? I'm worried that someone that goes from the Home Office, who's been asking for lots and lots of powers to keep a beady eye on you and me, she's now got the top job. And that's a little bit terrifying. That is Orwellian fucking nightmare coming to fruition. There will be people out there that already don't like the Tories. Yeah, Tories aren't conservatives. That's a different thing. We'll do that on the left, right wing history. Learn some fucking politics, people. Right, so anyway, I'm slightly scared of what's going to happen next. I'm also, if I'm honest, slightly worried as to where David Cameron goes this evening. Right, David Cameron has a house in Oxford. By all accounts, I've not been. Okay, let's not suggest that we're bestest buds and we spend a lot of time together. But David's got a house in Oxford which he rents out. He was planning, I'm assuming, on moving back there in September when this leadership election was supposed to end. But it happened sort of Monday and it's now Wednesday. And I'm not sure you can kick someone out of your house that quickly. And the house he's currently living in is going to be moved into this evening by Theresa May. So, where the fuck does he live? Are we seriously saying that the former Prime Minister of this country, by a couple of hours, is probably going to have to bunk up with his mum at her house? I'm sure she has a very nice house. I'm sure everyone is very well dressed, and I'm sure the national anthem is played every night and everybody sings along to it. But seriously, he's a millionaire. I mean, what, a cheap rented? But I mean, how the fuck do you sort that out? Is he staying in the back of the rental van that came and picked up his gear yesterday? I worry for the guy. He's got kids and a wife and stuff. He's probably not in as much trouble as I would be if I lost my house tomorrow. But still, you know, there should be some sort of ex-Prime Minister's housing scheme or something. Theresa, if you ever get to sort it out, look after the guy. He's done well. He did some good jokes today on Prime Minister's Questions. It was fun. Someone make sure he's got a pillow tonight. That's all I'm asking. Right, as for the other side, Jeremy Corbyn. Jeremy went to a meeting yesterday to vote on whether he should be allowed to run for the leadership of his own party. He got to vote on himself in a group of, I think, sort of 35 individuals. But because he was formerly in that group, he gets to vote on the rules that he gets to fight in. Who gets to vote on their own rules? We set up an independent commission, and then the guy who is going to be voted on is not only in the fucking room, but he gets a vote. So, in fairness to him, they said, alright, well, it's not going to be a public vote like we normally do, we'll do a private vote. But still, the guy's right fucking there. I'm not sure he should be allowed in the room, let alone get to vote. Right, I like a good analogy, okay? Let's imagine, let's have a guy, fuck it, let's call him Jeremy, right? So Jeremy gets a letter, today it's Wednesday, and it says, next week you're going to be on jury duty. So Jeremy goes, alright, fucking hell. So he goes into work on Thursday, tells his boss, and his boss goes, alright, well, we'll write you off for the next 2 weeks. Do you know what? Just see out today and tomorrow. Don't worry about Monday. We'll just assume you're not coming in. Just ring us when you can. And Jeremy goes, okay. So he sees out Thursday, he sees out Friday. All goes well. And he goes, fuck it. I'm going to be on a jury. Life could be shit for the next couple of weeks. I'm going to go out on the lash. So on Saturday, goes out on the town, gets pissed, gets in a bit of a scrap, ends up killing a guy. Fucking kills him. Gets arrested, gets taken to prison. Then on Monday morning, he gets brought to the court and he stands in front of the judge and he says, how do you plead? And he goes, well, of murder, not guilty, but worst, it was manslaughter. So the judge says to him, you're going to have to sit a trial either way, I'm afraid. But the good news is, you're on the jury. Remember that letter you got last week? Yeah? Well, it turns out that this was the one you were going to be on. You were going to be on court number 1 today. Sounds more like Wimbledon. But anyway, so you're going to have to occasionally sit over there, listening to all the evidence, making your mind up. But at times, you're going to be asked questions, and you're going to be sat over there. It's going to be a tough time, because you're going to have to convince everybody on the jury. What happens if it's like 12 people on the jury, and one person says not guilty, and the other 11 all say guilty? Well, some judges, they'll let that go. They'll just go, oh fuck it, it's close enough. It's close enough to guilty. But you know what? I'm one of those ones that really like it at 12-0. Yeah. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. But it should be fair. Should work. Don't really see what the problem is. How the fuck is that right? How do you get to vote on the rules that affect you? When it's that small a group, I mean, voting in an election is one thing. That's all well and good. You know, your one person vote against the 30 million others. I mean, if you can get enough people to vote with you, then all of a sudden you're in power. That's great. But seriously, I mean, Labour's a fucking shambles at the moment. It looks very much like we're going to have two women in charge of the two parties that essentially run our country, whether we like it or not. They're a group of people that very much do not represent us. Yeah, that's the thing. Houses of Parliament, the People's Parliament in Westminster, right? The whole concept of that is that they're a group of 650 people that represent you and me. Feel represented? No, me neither. Why don't you feel represented? Because I don't fucking care about you. In fact, there's a thing on the BBC website at the moment talking about whether HSBC should have been fined for laundering money. Well, did they launder money? Yes, they fucking did. Have we charged them? No, we fucking haven't. Why not? They've got too much fucking money. Well, yeah, because they're fucking laundering it. Well, yeah, there is that, but there's also the fact that they could cause another financial meltdown. Well, if we don't sort this shit out, then there's bound to be a fucking other one, isn't there? How about we make a big fucking example of them? We say that any bank caught doing this sort of thing is going to get fucking nobbled. Maybe just a thought. The sort of thing we try to do to tax evaders, unless they're a big company, then we just ask them how much they want to pay. And they might or might not. Depends on how they feel. At least you can have a coffee over it. They'll usually give you a free one of those. I'm starting to think we need a new party. And I don't mean just like out on the town, on the Raz, sort of, you know, get it down your neck, sort of, you know. I have voted Conservative most of my life. Not always, but most. Reason being, I think that a country should be financially stable. I think that the state doesn't really owe you anything, but is there to look after you in the worst of times. What I don't believe should happen is that a friend once asked me, he said, I've never voted before, Stu, what should I vote for? I went, how do you mean? He said, well, I don't want to be a vote waster, so I'm not going to vote Lib Dem. Alright, fair enough. He said, so it's either Labour or Conservative. And if I'm honest, I don't really know the difference. I don't know what will happen either way. And I said, look, mate, it's going to make no fucking difference, to be quite honest to you. He said, what do you mean? Well, look, here's the way it's going to happen. They're both going to promise you the world. They're both going to promise you that the NHS will get better, that education will get better, that you'll be more secure, that the country will be richer, and that you'll do better. Well, that sounds great. Of course it does. But to be quite honest, neither of them are really in charge. They're going to make some changes. They're going to make some fuck-ups. The only difference is the Conservatives will probably cost you slightly less. As long as you're in work, the Conservatives will in general charge you a little less to do the same things that Labour are going to do. Labour, on the other hand, will in general want to take every penny you earn off you and then give you back in credits and tax relief and all weird and wonderful measures, all the bits they think you you deserve, you should have, you need. The Conservatives go, we're going to try and run a country. This is how much it's going to cost. That's how much we need off you fuckers. Give us that and we'll leave you alone. That is generally how it works. So make your choice. Sort of depends how you want to live. You either go, here you go mum, here's all my money. Can I have my allowance please? Or you go, how much do you need mum? There you go. Sort yourself out. To be honest, there's not a great deal of difference other than that. I always felt as well that the Labour Party were a little bit, like in nanny state and we're going to be watching you, big brother situation. But as I've just said, we've just put Theresa May into power. I'm not sure these lights are enough. They make me feel like I'm being watched. It's like there's a camera on me. Well, obviously there is, but that's not really the point. Do you like my studio? Do you like this? I'm quite a fan. If you can't see it, it says My Persuasions just above my head. Okay, I'm trying to keep my head just inside the frame, but it should say up here, My Persuasions, which is the name of the website, the Twitter, the Facebook page, the fucking works. I'm a little bit worried about what's going to happen over the next few months. I'm slightly worried that Theresa May, Prime Minister Theresa May, will become a scary, scary person. I'm hoping I'm very, very wrong. I'm hoping she's wonderful. There's a good bloody chance she won't be. We could be going down a Donald Trump situation over here. Actually, no, Donald Trump's not that bad. In comparison, Donald Trump doesn't give a flying fuck what you're up to, as long as you're not Muslim, or Mexican, or gay, or a woman, or black. But I mean, as long as you're a white guy, Donald Trump's all for you. Sorry, as long as you're a straight white guy, which I just happen to be. If I ever have any bisexual tendencies, I just won't tell him. Yeah, so we might be living in wonderful, new, exciting times with Brexit and all the wonderful opportunities that offers us. Or we might all be having a member of G4S sat beside us for our entire fucking lives, and God forbid we ever go on Facebook or say something on Twitter. Yeah, and seriously, whatever you do, do not have a t-shirt that says anything offensive, because you'll go to prison. Fucking t-shirts to rile the world. There's a guy recently that had one condemning the Hillsborough disaster and saying that, actually I don't know exactly what it said, but it was basically about slagging off Liverpool fans and saying that, they all died for whatever reason. Wasn't the police's fault, whatever it was. Incitement for hatred, and gets charged with a criminal offence for a t-shirt. I wonder how soft our society's got, that if we genuinely consider a t-shirt a criminal offence. I mean, if that is the level we've got to, I don't think we need to worry about much else. Oh, we're alright. I mean, if genuinely, from now until the end of my life, the worst thing that's going to happen to me is I'm going to see offensive t-shirts, you know what, I think I'll be alright.